Julius Malema has found himself repeatedly mentioned across the two significant accountability processes, the Madlanga Commission and the Ad Hoc Committee hearings, as keeping questionable company. What are the implications when a political leader tasked with oversight appears repeatedly in networks linked, directly or indirectly, to those under scrutiny? In a country shaped by state capture and institutional fragility, patterns of association carry political and ethical weight. Can Malema effectively hold others to account while being perceived as part of the very networks we are trying to unravel? In this episode, I look at the various mentions of Malema, including his involvement in security tenders in Tshwane, his alleged closeness with General Shadrack Sibiya, who is under investigation, and his alleged proximity to underworld figures like Mswazi Msibi. Hello everyone, welcome back to Joe Talks Politics. I am your host, Joseph Musia. Let's get right into this. Julius Malema is not just any other member of parliament. He is the leader of the fourth largest party. He is very vocal on issues of corruption and has, in fact, built his party's reputation on violently confronting former President Jacob Zuma, who was accused of embezzling state funds to build himself a palace in Nkandla. He has, in fact, been a very active and vocal member of the Ad Hoc Committee.
You are really answering like a person who's going on retirement. It's like you don't care. You don't care what happens. How do you come here and you say you don't know who gave you 50-something million? You have not researched them? What if these people are chaired by Ket Matlala?
But being a member of that committee on its own puts him in a category of members who should be beyond reproach. It is already a problem that he is sitting there while he has been found guilty of a crime. It is true that he has not been sentenced yet and has indicated he will appeal his conviction. But this is politics. Perception is more powerful than reality. The linkages to unethical or illegal activities raise crucial questions and could negatively impact the perception of the Ad Hoc Committee process in the eyes of the public. So let us look at the specific mentions that came up during the evidence of Sergeant Fanny Nkosi at the Madlanga Commission.
It's Sunday and lots of love. So he sends you that message. You then forward it on to Mr. Mnisi. But in fact, his involvement goes much further than that. If you go down 2 chats, to chat number 3, he then sends you a list of 7 companies. And underneath that, and this is now on the 11th of March, underneath that he explains what this list is. Afternoon, Captain. I trust you are well, and your family. The above is from the Red Berets. Please check with Mfowethu. And Mfowethu is Mr. Mnisi, is it not? You're nodding your head. That's a yes.
Yes, yes.
Please check with Mfowethu, Mr. Mnisi, if it's the same with his from CIC, brackets Juju, to verify the authenticity. So he is saying he initially gave you 2 vehicles for land, 2 companies, and then he had a conversation with people purporting to represent the EFF. They gave him a list of 7 more companies who were supposed to get this tender. And he says, please ask Mr. Mnisi to check with Mr. Malema to see if those 7 companies are the correct companies that EFF wants to get this tender. Is that not what's going on?
Where is Mr. Malema appearing?
I think CIC Juju means Mr. Malema. Is that not right?
No.
Who is CIC Juju of the Red Berets?
Okay. I think in this matter, The general was sending me this message to send it to the CFO so that he must verify, because of there was a name dropping about this kind of project, so that he must verify that indeed this company belonged to the CIC. Juju.
I'm not suggesting that the companies belong to Mr. Malema, and I don't think the message conveys that at all. What the message conveys is that the EFF have put forward a list of 7 companies to get this tender to General Dlamini, and he wants Mr. Mnisi to check that the people who claim to represent the EFF, who've given him those 7 companies, do in fact represent the EFF. And how he suggests Mr. Mnisi should check that is by contacting Mr. Malema.
This is a big problem. We are not talking here about individuals who knew that their messages would be found. They were speaking freely to each other. So there is no way anyone can suggest they were name-dropping. Malema may distance himself and say he is not part of the discussion. But the discussion suggests he and his party were involved in the rot. And then there was this revelation by former Police Minister Bekicele at the Ad Hoc Committee.
I began to see them at the funeral, Honorable Malema. I began to see them at the funeral where we were together. I said, I know these voices, but at that funeral there were more guns and flowers.
Which funeral is that?
That was Mswazi, the guy called Mswazi Msibi, who was a taxi guy. So there were more guns and flowers, and I said to them, "What is everyone you were hitting?"
It's Guns and Roses.
Maybe, but there were more guns. So because he was a big guy in the taxi industry. Many of taxi guys, they came with helicopters in that funeral. They did not drive. Honorable Julius will remember there were many helicopters.
Msibi was a controversial figure from KwaZulu-Natal who came into the spotlight in 2025 after allegations by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi linked him to organized crime and police corruption. Which then leads us to the question, what was Malema doing there? What was his relationship with this figure? According to his arch-rival, Kenny Kunene, Malema had a close relationship with Msibi and ran every time the old man summoned him. But even more curious is Malema's reaction to Mkhwanazi's statement at the Ad Hoc Committee that Sibiya had declined internal mediation in the SAPS between the two of them, suggesting that Malema would mediate instead.
That Mr. Balula from the EFF is the one who he spoke to organize a meeting.
Balula from the EFF?
Mr. Balula from EFF? Oh, sorry, yes. Mr. Oh, yes. Malema from EFF. I'm bad with his mixing up of names. My apologies. Mr. Julius Malema from EFF was going to...
I have a problem with names today. You always twist them around.
Mr. Julius Malema, these allegations. Mr. Julius Malema, Sibiya has spoken to Julius Malema to arrange a meeting between me and Sibiya. So there's no need for the Minister Mcele and the National Commission to arrange. So these I hear from the National Commission.
Malema, who in the past was a vocal supporter of Mkhwanazi, attacked him over the weekend over these remarks.
We are not fanatics of Mkhwanazi. Right now we are not ball boys of Mkhwanazi or ball girls of Mkhwanazi. We stand with the truth. And if you plunder, we will tell you this is not right. We don't care whether it's Mkhwanazi or not. Mkhwanazi has given us issues. We are dealing with those issues. He must stop being sensitive that everyone who doesn't speak good about him, that person becomes the enemy. If he's a true policeman, let him remain true policeman and allow Madlanga and the Ad Hoc Committee to deal with what he has raised. He must never think he can blackmail or threaten anyone. We are not scared of policemen. When we joined the struggle, we were taught not to be scared of a policeman. We have not done it when we were young. We are not going to do it when we are old.
This is indeed a radical departure from his previous stance.
We are calling upon more Mukwanas in the police to come out and fight crime and syndicate that has captured the police, that has captured our country. We will not sit back and allow our country to be controlled by drug syndicate. We say to Mukwanas, do not be shaken, because if they fire you, there is a position for you in the EFF so that we can continue to fight corruption in South Africa. General Mukwanas should know that there is only one hope for the fearless, and that hope is the EFF.
So what has happened? We have moved from you have a home in the EFF to we are not your lapdogs. That is a dramatic about 10. Julius Malema has been a lightning rod in South African politics, unafraid to confront corruption, yet repeatedly appearing in networks that raise serious questions about accountability and influence. So the question remains, can a political leader like Malema credibly hold others accountable while being perceived as entangled in the networks under scrutiny? The answer isn't easy, but asking it and examining the evidence is exactly what we need to do as citizens and participants in our democracy. If you found this discussion insightful, subscribe, share, and keep the conversation going with your friends and colleagues. Politics isn't just what happens in Parliament. It's what happens when we question, investigate, and hold our leaders to account. That has been another episode of Joe Talks Politics. That's all from me, Joseph Musia. See you in the next one.